I've been doing work now in the succession space for over 10 years. And it's taken me a little while, but a mentor and a friend of mine had recently pointed out a pattern of what I've been witnessing. And it's that there actually is a process that is needed to be followed on the forefront of succession. It's like the process of pre-succession. There's very specific decisions that have to be made by the individuals involved prior to doing so. If you don't get these decisions on the table, if they're not navigated properly and facilitated, will end up happening is you'll defer and kick the can on your succession. And then what ends up happening is you are navigating these waters in a reactive way, not in a proactive way. So why do we do this? We know that change is inevitable, and we know something's going, that something down the road that, hey, my father or my mother is no longer going to be leading the business, that it's going to be moving on to someone else. Why wouldn't we start the process sooner than later? Well, there's several reasons why we don't. A lot of it has to do with most of it has, quite frankly, has to do with fear. It's to do with fear with conversations that need to occur. I was sitting with a family recently and we were having some interaction about a pending succession. And a lot of the folks in the room, there's two separate families that own these businesses, and they have different mindsets in regards to how they want this to go. Even down to the level of, should we keep the business? And at the base of all of it is this one question. Can we actually navigate this in a way that will still allow us to stay together and celebrate Thanksgiving as a family? It's an honest question, isn't it? I mean, who wants to go through a succession and then end up not talking? I mean, we all probably know a family or someone, even if it's not in our own circle, we've heard of families that aren't talking to each other anymore. And this is what we look to work to avoid. But what ends up happening, though, is because we're avoiding what we don't want to happen, we still don't get to where we want to go. So you can't get to where you want to go while you're energetically focused on where you don't want to be. They're not the same. So one of the first questions, I'm going to give you several questions over a series of videos, but one of the first questions I want you to ask yourself in the pre-succession process is, what am I scared of that could go wrong? Because if we don't address what our real fear lies, we're going to bury it, work around it, and then create stories that are not true that will pull us away from the real issue. So where does your fear lie? And what are you afraid of? And how could this go wrong? And let's get to the real issue.